Alright, so I'm going to try something today. I'm going to try and record a podcast while I'm recording on the camera. The camera doesn't have much battery left. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get, but I'm going to do this as an experiment to see if it works. Okay? So, if you're watching this, stick with me. This is the learning process. We'll see what happens. Alright, I'm going to hit record. I've already got pre-recording on here. I'll show you what I've got so far. I'll let you hear what I got so far. This is the intro to the podcast. I just wanted to have some music to kind of start it off. Then it goes into this.
Hello and welcome to Stuff I Heard with Josh Peak.
Okay, then the music fades out, but I've got a spot here where I can take over and record. Now, on GarageBand, I've got this preset up. You can see where there's the intro music. I've got a pre-roll. That's me saying, hello, welcome to the podcast. This is Stuff I Heard. Okay, then this is the fade out music. You can see where I've grabbed the lines and taped the lines off so that the music gradually goes down. And then this is my interview track. Okay, the interview track I've set up with the microphone. This is my microphone. And then I've gone into the choices over here and I've selected this microphone. It's called a 1CAD input. And then I've gone into narration. I like narration for this. But you guys my battery's already blinking. I should have thought about this video portion of it earlier. How can I do this different? I wonder if I have anything charged. Hang on, hold that thought.
That's what people would come away with. And so, the interesting thing too is I listened to the last episode of that podcast, and at the very end, they had discussed that they had heard a podcast I was recently on, and it was funny because they said that they had calculated, they were on episode maybe 227 or so, and they had calculated how long it would actually take someone to listen to all of them. Which I have, and I listen to them because I go to the gym, and they have a new episode one day a week, and I was listening back. And they said it was 13 total days. And I was thinking to myself, well, good Lord, for a podcast I listened to for 13 days of my life, I don't know that I actually represented it the way that I wish I would have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, anyway.
Well, this, like, when we got back from the beach, I wanted to reach out to them because I was looking for the episode that you spoke about. And so I wrote them on Facebook. I found their Facebook page, and I had already friended their Facebook page because you had sent me a link. And I wrote, hey, I spent the weekend with one of my best friends, Greg Steele. He was talking to me about your podcast. I tried to find the episode by his namesake. He said I'd enjoy it. I subscribed to your podcast, and I tried to find it in the lineup, but I'm unable to. Some are not available. Could you tell me how to find it? I've started a podcast called Stuff I Heard. Greg recorded episode 13 and 14 with me this weekend. Episode 13, he talked about you guys quite a bit. Sounds like you're a fun group. Thanks for your feedback on how to find his episode with you. And he wrote back, hey Joshua, it's good. We get together tonight. I'll try to find out what episode that was, and I'll try and track it down for you. I was like, cool, thanks so much. And he sent me the episode. It was episode 188. It's called Brocific Rim, Be Steele My Heart. And I listened to it, and they went, they had some funny stuff on there using your name, which I thought was pretty cool. And I wrote back and I said thanks, and they were no problem. So that probably sent them to listen to those episodes, to hear from you and kind of hang out a little bit with you. Because let's face it, podcasts, like you were talking about how you listen to them when you're at the gym, you put the headphones on and you're basically in the room with them, you're hanging out with them. And I kind of wanted to do that while we were together because I thought, hey, if for no other reason, this is kind of fun for us to go back to and listen to because it is like hanging out with friends in the room. Because it literally is our friends hanging out in the room. But, I listen to... Hey everybody. Let me adjust this a little bit. I got you guys in the wrong angle. So last night, I made an experiment. I tried to use my camera, this camera. This is my Canon G7X Mark II. I tried to record video of doing the podcast while I was talking to Greg. I set up the microphone, laptop, all that stuff, hit record, and then it dawned on me, oh crap, I haven't charged this battery properly. I knew I didn't have much battery life on it. I knew it was probably going to go dead. I think I actually was only able to record just maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that, and the battery died. So I was unable to use that. But like I was saying, this is the beginning. I'm learning what I can do, what I can't do. I did notice that last night I went back to play some of the podcasts, and it was by far the longest podcast I've done. Up to this point, me doing solo podcasts is around 30 minutes. Because it's just me, stream of consciousness, talking. I'm just hitting record and blah, 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 blah. I made a comment that it's easier to do those than it is this, because on this, you want to make sure you're making contact with the viewer, you guys, right? So to do that, I have to look into the camera to make sure that I'm in focus and that it's focusing on me and not the picture behind me and that kind of stuff. So it's like, hey, everybody, how you doing? And I'm looking at myself, basically. I'm looking at the viewfinder. Every once in a while, I glance at the lens. Casey Neistat does a pretty interesting thing where he wears sunglasses, and on every episode he's got these sunglasses on and he's talking, blah, 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 but he says, I wear the glasses so that you don't see me looking at my lens to see if I'm in focus and all this other stuff, because it is distracting. I get that, but I can't record a 30-minute conversation on here with me stream of conscious talking if I'm looking at myself. Now for the podcast, I did a thing where I sat the camera over here on the side. I had the laptop in front of me, I had the microphone. I'm holding a phone up towards the microphone so that speakerphone wise, as he's talking, it's coming in through the speaker into the microphone. And I thought, okay, this may work. And I was looking at my sound levels, and on GarageBand there's a thing on the left hand side where the sound levels move, and I'm looking at it and everything looks great. And I go back and I hit play to hear what it sounds like, and there's parts of it where there's a bit of static. And I'm not exactly sure where the static is from. I don't know if it's from the fact that it's coming across from the cell phone to the microphone, that maybe there's a distortion of sorts, or maybe it's because of the phone cable maybe causing a sound distortion. I don't know. I wish I would have charged this battery so that we could have done the whole thing. It would have been pretty interesting, I guess, for you guys to see kind of what it takes to do it. And I wanted to show a little bit of that. A lot of people don't know what goes into it. And I talked to Greg a little bit about the possibility of adding in a mixer board, just so that I can have inputs from different sources and be able to control volumes and stuff like that. And I still may look into that. Right now I'm not. I'm just gonna go with this for the moment, because let's face it, call-in episodes are probably not gonna be a thing all the time, but it could be. I would be interested into your input. If you have any experience with this, and you can write me and let me know kind of what you do. If you have call-in episodes, how you regulate the volume, if you've experienced this crackling noise. And I will say that it doesn't crackle through the whole thing. It's only like here and there you hear it going just a little bit while people are talking. But it's enough that I pick it up and it annoys me. So if it annoys me, I know it's gonna annoy the listener. So I definitely wanna work on that. But anywho, check it out. It's episode 16. I titled it Greg Steele Nerds, WGLS, which stands for Who Gets Laid Sometimes. That's a podcast that we reference a lot in the first half of the podcast. We do 1 hour and 43 minutes. The second half of the podcast is about nurse practitioners and healthcare and my mom, Debbie Hopla. So check it out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Any feedback would be great. Write me, let me know if I'm doing a good job, if I'm doing a crappy job, what I could do differently. I'm open to suggestion. I'm not obtuse. I'm just trying to make this better. And if you have a podcast out there and you want to collaborate on something, let me know. I do want to build a community. We don't have to start at the top. We can start at the bottom. So, thanks for watching. Hope everybody's doing well. Y'all take care. Oh, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review, and share if you have anybody that's interested in this kind of stuff. I know it's kind of a weird niche, but you never know. Thanks for watching, guys.